Hello, it's Monica from Crafting with Quilling Lady and I hope you have an absolutely amazing day. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to create shaped fast communion cards using my new SVG file. And if you like making fast communion cards, recently I've just launched my new collection called White Elegance. And if you like it, I left all the links in the description down below to buy me a coffee website. However, if you'd like to get it for free, I do have a giveaway, and all the rules are in the description down below. So, rule number 1 is to be a visible subscriber. Then I want you to like and comment on all 10 videos in this series. Check all the information in the description down below. Using 300 GSM multi-purpose card, I created the back of the card using my SVG file and I cut it with my scan and cut machine. I cut it one more time to have the front of the panel. Then in my stash, I had that textured card, so I thought that would be just perfect to add dimension and interest to my card. So I'm going to turn my card over and trace around my shape. Now I'm going to use my scissors to fussy cut that element. And if you like creating fast communion cards, as I told you, I've got a series running on my channel at the moment. And in total, there will be 10 videos. So I will show you how to use different collections to create very stunning, gorgeous, and quick fast communion cards. And today it is my 5th day of series, which I can't even believe it. Now I'm going to use my scoring board to create a top flap, and this is really easy for any shaped cards. And at this point you can decide how do you want to put the flap, a little bit higher or lower. The choice is absolutely yours. It's always a good idea to burnish it a little bit more, and then I'm going to use my liquid glue to apply it, then attach the front and the back together. When these panels are ready, I like to open the card and burnish it inside as well. So in total, for this video, I created 3 cards. So I'm going to show you 2 of them here. And to be honest, they are very simple to make, especially with that SVG file. You can use it on Cricut, Scan and Cut, or Silhouette, which I think is really cool. And what's really good about any SVG files, you can make it as big or as small as you want. So if you just want some embellishments for your first communion cards, of course you can do it. And I do encourage you to play with the card you already have in your stash, because you'll be surprised how many amazing projects you can create. In that SVG file, you also get that cross. And I thought, let's add a little bit of color. So I'm going to use my alcohol marker just to color it in. So in the end, you don't really need colored card for all the elements, which I think is really cool. You can use some embossing folders if you want to add texture, or you can already use textured card like I did for the first card. So I'm happy with the placement of the cross and I'm going to attach it using my liquid glue. And when this is ready, then I use gold card from Crafter's Companion and I cut the outer edge, which is so beautiful. And this card is double-sided. Again, I'm going to use my liquid glue because then I do have time to maneuver the elements. And especially with very thin frame, it is so easy to use a liquid glue. So then, when this is ready, then you can decide how do you want to embellish your card. And in my SVG file, we also have a chalice with couple of elements, but also a book as well. For the first card, I'm going to use the chalice, and it has couple of parts, and I'm going to use gold card for it. However, you can use whatever is in your stash. So I've got the background panel, then the chalice itself, and I'm going to attach them together with liquid glue. If you want, you can also add some dimension by using double-sided tape, and that will be perfectly fine. Now it will be time to decorate our chalice with a host. So I'm going to create 3 elements, but first I'm going to attach the chalice to my card, and this is the time where you can decide do you want it on the left, in the middle, or on the right. So for all 3 cards, I try to play with the elements and I place them in different spots. And this is the way for you to go as well. I do encourage you to challenge yourself and do a dry run first and see what really works for you. As you can see, I put some double-sided foam adhesive. Now it is time to peel it off, and then I'm going to add a few drops of liquid glue and put my chalice on a card. Have you ever used gold and white to create first communion cards? If you haven't, I think this is the best color combo. And if you like my White Elegance collection, the new digital collection, don't forget to check the description down below. So as I told you, there are a couple of rules, and one is to be a visible subscriber to my channel. I want you to like and comment all 10 First Communion cards in this series. I want you to choose any 5 videos on my channel, watch and comment. Then I left the link to Buy Me a Coffee website, and I want you to download any free project. And this way, I'm going to have your email address. When this is ready, then on the 10th video, which will be in a couple of days, I want you to leave the name of the free project you downloaded from Buy Me a Coffee website. And the deadline is the 10th of May 2024. So don't forget, all the information is in the description down below, together with all the links to the collection. So yes, you can check it out. As you can see, the host is ready. I use per lesson card for the background, then I use 2 gold different cards. And I think they just work together so well. I'm going to add some dimension, and this really makes a difference on those cards. I'm going to peel off the backing, then add few drops of liquid glue again, and then put it on my card. And now we can personalize the card the way you want. As I told you, there is also a book included in that SVG, but I'm going to put the name of the recipient and also a sentiment in Polish which says on your first communion day. If you'd like to get a set of sentiments about First Communion, please let me know in the comments down below, and I try to put it on Buy Me a Coffee website. So, decisions. Where to put all those elements. That's why creating or actually doing a dry run really makes a difference, because this way you'll make sure all the elements are exactly where you want them. And what's really good about this card, it goes flat in the envelope, even when we use some double-sided foam adhesive. And then, as I told you, with any SVG file, you can decide how big or small you want your card to be. And this one will fit perfectly in 6 by 6 inches envelope. So this cut is completed. What do you think about it? Do you like it? If you do, check the SVG file on Buy Me a Coffee website. With this time for cut number 2, I've got 2 panels ready. Already created the textured panel. If you want, you can also use some pearlescent cut for the background, and that'll be perfectly fine. Or you can use Winkle Stella or clear overlay from Spectre Noir, and that would be perfectly fine. So I do encourage you to have a look at your stash. I'm pretty sure you do have lots of amazing tools, cards that you can use. Now it is time to create a top flap of our shaped card, and then put the front and the back of the card together. Super quick and simple. So all those 3 cards, which you're going to see later side by side, took me literally an hour to create, which I think is really cool. And all the names of the recipients that you're going to see here are using CHIPBOARDS, and all those CHIPBOARDS are from Red Point. And this is a UK-based company. And if you haven't seen my previous videos, the Red Point company creates what you want. So I requested a couple of names and I suggested the font, and they did it for me. So if you're looking for very special chipboards, please check the Red Point. I left the link to their Facebook page. Don't worry, it is super easy to use, and they are very good with replying to your requests. Now I'm going to add some color on the cross, and as you can see, you can actually turn it, which I think is really cool. And this way, all the cards will be slightly different. If you know me, you know how much I love creating free cards on one go. So this way, not only I save time, but I use the same design, but I'm using slightly different variations, which I think is really cool. Now it is time for the gold frame, and again, this card is from Crafter's Companion. I really like it. It is one of my favorites at the moment. Do you have your favorite gold card for your paper craft projects? If you do, Please let me know in the comments which one is it. And as you can see, when you use a liquid glue, it is so easy to maneuver the frame. Now it will be time to embellish the card. And again, I'm going to use that chalice. I used 2 different gold card pieces and they just work so well together, especially when you tilt the card. And that's why I think it is so special about First Communion cards. When this is ready, I'm going to put it on the card, but this time I'm going to put it on the left hand side. So as I told you, decisions, how are you going to put elements on your card? I do encourage you to do a dry run first. And as I told you, there will be 10 videos in this series. And if you'd like to get my white Elegance collection for free, don't forget to check all the rules in the description down below. And I also wonder, what do you think about my new collection? Do you like it? And what would be perfect for? Is it? Please let me know in the comments down below. So when the backing of the tape is removed, now I'm going to put a few drops of liquid glue and put it on the left hand side. Then it is time for the host. Again, I've got some white card. Then I've got the pearlescent card just for extra interest. And then I use gold for those letters. And now I'm going to put all those together really quickly. And what's really good about this SVG file, as I told you, you can make it as big or small. So with the chalice, for example, you can actually create a card in that shape. All you have to do is to make it slightly bigger and cut it with your scan and cut or Cricut, whichever electronic machine you've got. And if you like this collection, the SVG file, please let me know. And if you'd like to create the shaped card, or would you rather create actually a chalice card? I'm really curious what you think. Now I'm going to put that hose on top of the card, and as I told you in that SVG file, you also have a book as well. And I'm going to show you what you can do with it to make it even more special. So I use 300 GSM white card to cut the book. As you can see, you already have some details. Now I'm going to use brown card, actually brown alcohol marker to add the color on the edges. And in that SVG file, you also have a cross that will match the book. And I tilted a little bit so it's actually proper perspective. So the book cover is done. Now we can put those elements together. I'm starting with the cross on the book, and as you can see, it is literally properly placed there. Now I'm going to place the name of the recipient, and then I also need the sentiment for the occasion. I'm going to put some double-sided foam adhesive for the book, and then I'm going to place it on my shaped card. And when this is ready, at this point I thought something is missing. So if you look at the name of the recipient, it really matches the card. However, the sentiment at the bottom needs something a little bit extra. So I do encourage you not to throw away your scraps piece of card from your projects. I do recommend to keep them, so this way you can actually make the backing for your sentiments. And that's what I usually do, because even the smaller elements will be just perfect. And to do it, I'm going to use a scrap piece of card and then use my alcohol marker. And when this is ready, I'm going to place those 2 elements together and then adhere them on my card. And as you can see, this card is super easy to create. I really enjoyed creating those, and if you like this shaped card, please let me know in the comments down below. If you want, you can also add some dimension to the sentiment and the card will be completed. If you want, you can also add some pearls, but I only added pearls to one of the cards. And if you want to know which one is it, I actually put that video, no, actually, the photo on my blog, so you can check it out because I did it later off camera. So the card is completed, there is plenty of space to write your message, and the card stands proudly on a flat surface. So now I'm going to show you one more card that I created. So this is the first one I created, and then off camera I created this one with the book on the left hand side. I really wonder which one is your favorite. Please let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching and spending that time with me. Don't forget to like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I really hope to see you tomorrow for another tutorial. Have a wonderful day and happy crafting!